everybody. I am going to experiment with doing some more live videos here in this Facebook group and then just posting them later to YouTube versus my usual MO, which is to do live videos on YouTube and then post them here in Facebook. And it doesn't really matter to me one way or the other. So, but I particularly like hanging out, and I feel like we might have more actual questions or engagement or just new knitters or new spinners here in the Facebook group. So anyhow, hello. And I will attempt to screen record this. I started doing that before now, but I guess I'll screen record this later. And share it to YouTube. So anyhow, I know we had a lot of newer members, and I haven't done a live in here in so long. So I'm guessing if you say something, it will pop up. I think it's what's happening. So ask away, I guess. But I know we've had a lot of newer people join this group. And then I also somehow ended up in another spinning group somewhere that I think is like somehow people are finding me there and ending up here that is for new spinners. And so I'm seeing a lot of the same questions over and over again, which I think is the same question that many of us come into, which is I have decided I would like to learn to spin yarn, and I have absolutely no clue what any of the terminology is, where to start, what anything is. I don't want to drop a ton of money into this, etc. What should I do? And so I quickly, before I get hungry and have to go eat lunch, figured I would do this live video for you. The absolute path of least resistance for playing around with learning to make your own yarn is a handmade, you can make your own drop spindle. You don't even have to purchase a drop spindle, or it might not even be that you can't afford to. It might just be that you like literally have to do it right now. If you have some sort of sheep wool or fiber laying around and you are wanting to make one, we have, I think it's, I just redid my website. I think it's in the section called info bundles. So I think that's what it's called. We have a little section, and I mean, it's not even really a course. It does have some videos and some how-tos, but it was from a, I think we also have a free blog post. Anyhow, go check it out on step-by-step on how to create your own drop spindle. This was a staff project during COVID when we all were trying to come up with things to do because we were stuck in the house. But as you can see, this would be your ultimate path of least resistance. It is a pencil. It's got a weighted bottom. It's got a 3-layer cardboard whirl that is slightly crooked, but it still works, and a paper clip and a rubber band. And like I said, if you want specific how-tos on getting this to work right, go click info bundles on my website and you will find it there. But the idea is that the first thing that you can learn to make yarn on is a drop spindle, which does not have to be made out of things in your house when you were going crazy. It could also be an actual drop spindle. So this is a homemade drop spindle, and this is an actual drop spindle. This is actually the drop spindle I learned to spin yarn on. I purchased it off Etsy, and I forget what the name of the shop was. I literally just typed in drop spindle, and I really liked this one because it was pink and had pretty painting on the top. So this one's my first drop spindle. And when I first started drop spindling, the first yarn I was making looked a lot like this blue yarn. It was like literal rope. And then this was, this looks like it was llama or something crazy that you can see is much thinner. So this is a drop spindle. So if you're not wanting to buy a full-blown spinning wheel, you could get a drop spindle that you either purchased, I think this one was like 20 bucks, like 10 years ago, and or made out of weird things in your house. But you will need a drop spindle, and you're gonna need some sort of fiber. So when we say fiber in the fiber arts industry, that could be anything from wool from like any sheep, alpaca and llama. I think we call it fiber, but I think it's technically hair or fur. And then you also have plants, so you know, cotton or linen, or you have like cellulose sort of nylon-y stuff like the faux cashmeres. So as you see, fiber is an all-encompassing term for things that we can play with in the fiber arts, but let's just pretend it's wool. but it could be a lot of things. It's an umbrella term, but for the sake of argument, we're going to go with wool. And it usually comes in your most common found, if you were starting out, the most common thing would be something called roving, which this is a natural roving found from one of my favorite farms that you can find on the My Local Wool index. It is a free searchable index on my website. And this is from, here, the Drezzo family farm. There we go. And you can find all of these lovely farmers and their natural roving. Like I said, there's a link on my website that says My Local Wool Index, and you can literally just scroll through and it will take you to the different farmers' websites or emails or Facebook pages or whatever it is they have set up where you can buy it. And you can try different fibers. So this is a natural roving. You can see that it is clean. All the fibers are going in one direction, and it is easy to draft, which is where you can kind of, you're loosening it. And the idea is that we're drafting, and then we're getting the twist in the fiber. So that's the magic that turns it from fluff to yarn, is the twist in the middle. And so that's basically what you're looking for, is clean, spinnable fiber that goes in one direction. Another example of roving would be our braids that are available on my website. This is this month's Braid of the Month Club. It is called Tulips. It is a color blocked braid, and it is beautiful. By color blocked, I mean that it's in definite colored sections versus all mixed together, but that's more of a color theory situation. It doesn't matter. You can spin it however you want. So this is a braid of roving. I feel like they normally come in like 4 ounces. And they, of course, can be different types of wool. This month is a Shanico. So, we have a lot of these on my website. I would recommend signing up for something fun. We have the Braid of the Month Club, bats, and the Fiber Artist Design Bundle. If you are newer, I would of course recommend the Braid of the Month Club or the Fiber Artist Design Bundle, because that comes with a braid and 2 different bats, so you could experiment with different things. But that is an example of roving fiber. When you got one of these, what you would do is they usually come in a braid. So you're going to unbraid the braid. I'm just going to braid this part, and then you section it off from the fuzzy end here. On this side, you can pull it into strips. I'm not going to get into all the how-tos on spinning, but the idea is that once again, you have clean spinnable fiber that's all going in one single direction to draft and spin from. See? And you can once again get that pull, the draft, and the twist, which is what you're looking for to make yarn. So that is a braid. And a bat, this was just something I grabbed off the shelf. I don't even remember what this is. Ooh, it's soft, whatever it is. Whatever this is, I need to spin something with it. It's very soft. This was one of our previous month natural bats. Oh man, I might have to go back and look up whatever this is, because it's really nice. But you can see a bat. It came rolled up like this. And bats usually come either rolled up kind of in a little ball, or we present and ship our bats however I feel like it's going to hold the fiber in place the best. So if it's like springier fiber, you may get it rolled up like it was. If I feel like it's something that's more delicate, like an alpaca or something that's going to fall apart, it may come kind of wrapped in like a cigar. But you can see in a bat, you've got different fiber sections, even though this one's pretty light. But you can see like the grays and the whites. And when you spin from a bat, you're going to unroll it. You can pick from literally anywhere. I usually start on just one corner. And you can either hold it in your lap like a cat and spin from a corner, or you could pull it down, like strip it out, and then spin from one section to the other. But it's the same idea of it is fiber that is clean and all going in one direction, and then you're going to get that nice draft and twist. So that is a rundown of fiber, a rundown of drop spindles. And as far as entry-level wheels go, let me lower this. And I mean, I'm saying entry-level. These were just 2 I had sitting up here. This is my Spinolution Bullfrog. And it does have a spinning attachment, so this thing looks a little funny. That was an add-on. This is a Spinolution Bullfrog. It is a full-size studio wheel. You can see how strong I am here. It weighs probably about 14 pounds, and it does, I like this wheel for if you were starting out because it does have a lazy Kate that comes with it, that's built in, and you would put these pegs on the top. And you want a lazy Kate because basically, if you're trying to two-ply yarn, you want something to put the bobbins on while you're two-plying it. So having a built-in lazy Kate is really nice because then you don't have to buy a lazy Kate. So this is, like I said, the Spinolution Bullfrog. It also has a carrying handle and can fold at the neck. So I would recommend this if you wanted to get a spinning wheel, really any of the Spinolution wheels, but that one is a good built-in. This is the newest one. It's slightly smaller. It is the Spinolution Abe, and you can get these there. This one's unfinished, as you can see. I need to varnish it, but I've been lazy. I have not done it yet. It is slightly smaller, but still a very good size. It is a build your own wheel. So this, if you are concerned about price and you like to make things, this one comes with some assembly, and I already have videos on YouTube where you can see step by step on assembling this. And then the head and the bobbins and the gears are 3D printed. So this is definitely like if you were not wanting to spend a ton of money and you just wanted a small travelable wheel. The Polywog is great and it's already finished, but if you are not opposed to putting one together yourself, this is the Abe, and it is fun because, yeah, you can get different colors. You know, so you could get like purple or pink or green or whatever for the 3D printed parts. And they do have different, like studio packages, or you could just get the single. So, anyhow, that's the Abe. Okay, so as you see, anything from a drop spindle to a spinning wheel, and then some sort of fiber, be it natural fiber, a braid, whatever it is that you wanted, is what you would need to get started. So I will let you pick your own poison on, you know, where you think your comfort level would be on jumping in on that. But that's what you need. Most people do start out with learning the basics of just drafting and spinning and twist on a drop spindle. I will say, I think it is technically easier on a spinning wheel just because your feet are doing the spinning versus your hands and then this. So, I mean, I would say you could either, if you really want to start with a wheel, get a wheel, or try to find a local spinners guild and borrow a wheel. If you really just want to get your feet wet with the idea of making yarn from fluff, then a drop spindle, like I said, I mean, you can literally make one, would be your path of least resistance. So get your hand on some sort of fiber that you can definitely find some sort of fiber on my website. So go check that out. The leftover braid section would be a good place to start because that's not a subscription. It would just be like whatever is left. However, the leftover braid section is popular and usually picked over. But so if you end up with one of the monthly subscriptions, you can cancel it at any time. So that's not hard. So don't let that scare you off. We do have like a little info bundle on the making your own. I think I've just got the Spin Perfect drop spindles are the only ones that are on my website. I have sold drop spindles in the past, but it has not been a top priority for me to keep in stock. So we've got the 3D printed ones on my website. You can build your own or just go to Etsy. I always recommend Snyder spindles. They're great. I have some fancy ones from them. And then any of your Spinolution wheels, I'm kind of the guru of matching people with like what your dream wheel would be with a Spinolution wheel. I was just ranting to my husband about why I wish people could help me. We were getting bookcases put in the house, and I was like, I wish somebody could help me match my perfect outcome like I do with people with spinning wheels. So if you would like to talk about Spinolution spinning wheels at all, I am happy to help match you with what I think your dream wheel would be, and I'm good at it. So there's that. And if you would like to learn more about spinning, I do have a drop spindle class on my website. Just under courses, it's super affordable. It is step by step, and it's drop spindle, and there's also a mini spinning course. But I'd say start with the drop spindle if you're totally new to spinning, and pick up the drop spindle course, and that'll give you homework step by step, exactly how I teach people in person drop spindling. So I hope that helps. And anyhow, I just thought it was a good time to cover some bases for new people that had recently joined. So happy spinning.